lessen the stress about job security. Now let's go. Welcome back, strong working dads, and today we're going to talk about how to lessen the stress about your job security. This is so much something I deal with all the time. I can't tell you how much I stress about job security. Even though I've been at my job for over 3 years, I've gotten rewards, I've gotten bonuses, I tend to do pretty well at my job, I still worry about my job security all the time. And that's normal when you are a working parent, because it's not just your job, it's not just your income, it is your family's income. And that is so hard to keep and so hard to just focus on and feel safe in your job, because you just look around and sometimes people are let go or they leave and you don't really know the story behind it. And because you don't know the story all the time, because we're not supposed to ask, just like we're not supposed to talk about our salary, there's just so much unknown about why people leave jobs. It could have been something crazy, like they were running a dogfighting ring or something in the back room. No, you don't know all the time, unless over time that maybe rumors come out, but even then, they're just rumors. You don't know exactly what happened. So really, your job security stress can be very high, even if you're very secure in your company, and that is difficult. And I got 2 tips, to help you in this journey, okay? To help you lessen that stress of job security. Tip number 1 is always be there. Be Mr. Reliable. You are there whenever you're supposed to be and on time every day that you're supposed to work. It is more than anything I've ever seen before the number 1 reason to keep your job. If you are on time all the time, on the day you're going to be there, you are so reliable, they don't even think about it. It is not even a question. It's something that managers always worry about. It's like, oh, is this person going to come in? Oh, I need them to be here on this time, or we can make a plan here. They can't plan if they can't trust you. They can't feel like they're going to know that you're going to be there, especially when you're starting in a position. Really be there on time. On time, and the day you need to be there. Always do that as much as possible. Be Mr. Reliable. They can always count on you to be there when you need to be. That doesn't mean if they call you, like, can you come in this day or today or anything, that doesn't mean you have to do that. I'm not saying do that. I'm saying when you are supposed to be there on the schedule, be there and be on time as much as possible. Now, this kind of contradicts of putting family first and always being family. Well, guess what? I mean, this is putting family first too. It's another way of putting family first. It's not actually being there and your kids don't see it, but it is putting family first, and that's important too. So don't take time away, but the way to connect that is step number 2 is to communicate. If you are going to miss for any reason or running late for any reason, communicate as soon as possible. It makes you still reliable, and because they know you're going to be there, except for when you told them you're not going to be there, and you told them that you're not going to be there multiple times. You're like, I'm not going to be here this day, next week, I'm not going to be here tomorrow, I'm not going to be here. You communicate that in their heads, like, okay, he's not going to be here. I know, because guess what? You can ask for time. No matter what, they're going to forget about it. It happens almost all the time. They're going to forget that you asked off for time. And that can be frustrating because, you get a text or call like, where are you at? Where are you at? They're freaking out. Like, you are Mr. Reliable. It's like, I told you, I was going to take this time off. Like, oh, I forgot. Sorry. And that happens so many times. I can't tell you how many times it's happened. So another way to do that is when you ask for time off, tell them over and over and over and over and over and over that I'm taking this day off. Whether it's your supervisor, team, everybody, let them all know that you're going to have time off, because then everyone's prepared and they know that you're reliable still, because you have told them every single time you're going to leave. And if something happens that's an emergency, communicate that with them. Be open and honest. I know it can be something very sensitive. Your kid is sick, and like, just communicate everything to them. I know some places are very strict about like leaving work. Just communicate with them what is going on at all times. Like, this kid's sick, say we're working on getting someone to take care of them, but I may need to leave later. What can I do to help? Less stressful for you guys or anything like that. Just communicate that as much as possible, as soon as possible. They need to know right after you tell your wife, spouse, family stuff. They need to be the next person that knows. I know it's can be hard, but you got to tell them what is going on all the time. I had a family member become ill, and I could not go to a business trip. They became ill hours before I was supposed to take the plane, and it was an emergency. Hospital, ER, rush to it. I needed to be there with my family, and it was difficult. It was on a weekend that my plane was leaving. I didn't have the communication with everybody. I communicated as well as I could, email and everything, to tell them I can't make it because of this emergency. And you tell them that because once they know what's going on, they can relate and they understand. And guess what? You're reliable. You're not just doing this because you don't want to work today. You're not just doing this because something else is going on. You're doing this because this thing is going on. When you are honest in your communication with your employer, everything becomes great. You're still Mr. Reliable. And being Mr. Reliable is how you have job security. All right, guys. Talk to you again later, but keep their job secure by communicating and always being there. See you guys. Bye.